You are not stuck. You are comfortable and maybe a little bit scared. You lack a little bit of faith in what you already know and you feel. You just aren't sick enough yet. You're not sick enough of the fact that you keep putting it off, making excuses. You have crunched the numbers. You know how much you need every month. You know how much you have currently. You know if and when you have a cash pile. You are aware that life is short and none of us are guaranteed many more years here. But you're too comfortable and too scared to make the decision to get busy being you and living the life that you want to live. Most of us have never done the step, retirement reality reset kit and the retirement calculator spreadsheet. You have to know your number before you can make any decisions about your future. You don't want to go to retirement and realize you can't afford it. Let's figure that out now and see what life is going to look like later. How much more, and just, I'm talking to myself here, y'all, but if this is resonating with you, like, subscribe, share, keep coming back, because how much more, and I'm going to start using the word I, how much more am I going to make excuses? It started with, well, I got to have enough to meet my monthly basics, and I don't want to compromise anything in my current lifestyle. It's got to be enough to meet this. All right, I've got enough for that. And then it was, I want to reach this, and this goal at my current version of work because I don't want to leave anybody in a lurch when I leave. Would they have that much consideration for me if they were ready to get rid of me? And now, of course, it's, well, I'm in the middle of doing all these annual health tests and stuff, so I want to get to this next one, and then after that, I'll give it a couple of months and do these goals. So it just keeps getting pushed off, and the question is, why? Why am I doing that to myself? Why am I doing this to future Jen, who wants to look back on her life and know that I once again boldly and confidently walked, because by God, the fat lady has been singing my intuition and all of the signs are pointing to, get the heck on with it. But I'm still here every day. If you're feeling this as well in your own life, that you know it is long since time for you to pull this trigger or at least make a change. Again, I'm not quitting working. I'm quitting this version of work. I've already moved on, fitting into all of the cracks, the nooks and the crannies, building up additional income streams that need my attention. They are begging me daily. And by begging me, I mean I have all of these phenomenal ideas, pop, 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 but not enough time and hours in the day. So I do. I make note of everything, whether I'm voice recording on a trip down to get to my lovely current version of work, or if it's I'm waking up in the middle of the night trying to get back to sleep, but my subconscious is nudging me, you got to go record this, you've got to go do this. So yeah, you guys have seen video recordings in daytime, nighttime, midtime. You've seen me in airports. You have seen me, well, you haven't seen me in doctor's offices. You have seen me at the cabin, inside and out. You've seen me driving, and sorry for those of you who take exception to that. I am trying to dial that back, but sometimes when the spirit moves me, I gotta get it out. I do. So, but I am trying to pull over and do those recordings there. But the bottom line is, why am I continuing to put this off? Why am I making excuses when I've already identified on paper, in my heart, I want this? So that's the challenge for all of you. Tell me in the comments, what's holding you back? Are you scared? You're real comfortable? Change is hard. It is. And I've done it enough times in my life to know that it's not going to kill me. Life is always 100 times better when I finally put one foot in front of the other in the direction of my next goal, my next version of me, I'm not putting a foot in front of the other to walk away from something. I wish everybody in my wake, that rosy golden sky behind me, not my bridge is burning. It's just the home fires that I've decided are no longer warming me. I'm moving to the next version of me, my version of work, my version of life. I have people leaving comments currently that are motivating me more than you could possibly know. They're telling me their stories. They're telling me that I am 70. I am retiring this year. This company will not get the 27th year out of my hide, my soul, my heart, my spirit. I'm done. And I am applauding that. No disrespect. I don't want to keep making my excuses out of fear and being comfortable and just not sick enough, because by God, I've had enough. And I say that with a little bit of hesitation, because if I commit to this, if I make this choice, saying yes to something is saying no to everything else. What am I saying no to? Let's unpack this. I am saying no to the office politics. I am saying no to ageism. I am saying no to being expected to work way too hard within the amount of hours and then asked to give more and more and more in the evenings and on the weekends. Yes, at one point there was a unwritten, and I'm going to say it, a comp time program where if I worked 60, 80 hours a week, and I'm a contractor at heart, so I recorded every last hour I worked, whether it was at night, on weekends, etc. But when they pulled the ability of me to utilize those hours to then take care of my mother or to travel to see my husband, that was a deal breaker. And then the next big glass of ice water in the face the universe gave me was, instead of allowing me to work alternative hours in downtown Houston, where I could come in at 5:30 in the morning and leave after 9, 10 hours of work, whatever time. And sometimes it was longer. Sometimes I'd be here 15, 16 hours, depending on what was going on. But when they forced us into core business hours, and that added, when I have a 3-hour round trip a day commute, that added an extra 2.5 hours a day to my commute. And it started affecting my mother, who at her age and her decline into dementia or Alzheimer's or just old age, whatever label they're putting on it today, when it began to confuse her, because I wasn't showing up at the normal point in the rhythm of her life, when it was this show was on TV or this news was coming on or the lights were this low in Houston, whatever it was that disturbed her, and I actually saw her deteriorate before my eyes even faster, that's when I pulled up my big girl panties and put down my foot and said, you can take away my flexibility to be able to go see my husband on a regular basis. You can take away my ability to work outside of these four walls, unless it's on my own time and it's a donation to a company that is far from being a charity. I am not a volunteer. Pay me for every hour I work and compensate me accordingly. I'm pleased that they do compensate me for the 49 hours a week they expect out of me as a regular. But when I finally pulled up my big girl panties and I said, this is where I draw the line. I cannot work these extra, and it's not even extra hours, it was core business hours. Can't do it. It is impacting my loved ones, and I will not tolerate that. So I tolerate less for the people around me than I do myself. Why do we do that? Ladies, men, Gen X, why do we do that? Why do we accept poorer treatment for ourselves than we do for those people that we defend? Whether it's a coworker or a sibling or a child or a parent. We love them. They have to have a certain quality of life. People have to treat them a certain way, but we will accept lesser treatment. Wow. Okay. I vow to work on that. Okay. Next version of myself, that will be something that I have much improved. But with all this said, I see you. I know you. You are comfortable. You're scared. You're tolerating how you've taught people to treat you. We all need to think about this. Down below, I've got a master your money plan. Go figure out how much you need every month. I've also got some journals down there to help you work through some of this mental stuff, some of these sense things. I am launching a brand new product. It is Retirement Reality Check, 30-day reset. Let's go check that out as well. I post on Saturdays and Wednesdays. I've got a little say about a lot of stuff, and sometimes I popcorn like this one here, Jigger of Gin. I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording.